Tuesday, June 24th, and it is 9 a.m., and this is the Putnam County Board of County Commissioners regular meeting. Call the meeting to order, and we will have our invocation by Pastor Ricky Bobby from Trinity Baptist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Newbold. Please stand if you're able to do so.
Will you join me in prayer? Father God, we do come before you today with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our community. Thank you for the gift of this new day and for the call to leadership and stewardship over the people and resources of this community. God, I ask you just to grant wisdom to each commissioner here today. May every decision made reflect justice, compassion, and the common good. Give clarity and deliberation, humility and leadership, and unity and purpose. Father, we just ask you for your guidance over the discussions ahead. May they be marked with integrity, cooperation, and a deep concern for those we represent. Strengthen us to act with courage where it's needed and with patience and understanding where we must grow. We remember those in our county who are in need, the vulnerable, the struggling, and the unheard. May our work always honor their dignity and strive to make this place flourish. For it's in your holy and precious name that I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As a reminder, please silence your phones. All right, Commissioners, approval of the minutes.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the minutes of the regular meeting, May 27th. That's in our packet.
Second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving into presentations, we'll start with Mr. Gerald Donnelly from the VFW regarding Sheriff of the Year. That's been added to our packet. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. I want to thank you for adding us to this morning.
Absolutely.
We want to honor the Sheriff of the Year. I want to thank all the sheriffs for the outstanding job they do in the community and through the county. I think we have a great leadership, and we're going to do a presentation today to honor one of their fellow sheriffs. And Gerald Schuller's going to read the comment and who the sheriff is.
Good morning, Mr. Schuller.
Good morning, Commissioners. It's a pleasure to be here. This award is going to go to Deputy Sheriff Jeffrey Kalin. Jeffrey Kalin started with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office in 2023. He brought with him prior law enforcement experience, having served part-time and full-time with the Leon County Sheriff's Office from 2016 to 2023. Last year, he was one of the 4 deputies to receive a life-saving award for actions above the call of duty and saving the life of a child who drowned in a residential pool. The child was successfully resuscitated and made a full recovery. Deputy Kalin's supervisors describe him as proactive and a hard worker who loves serving the community. He was recently accepted as a field training officer where he will be imparting his knowledge and experience on our next generation of deputies. It's going to be our pleasure to present this award to Deputy Sheriff Kalin. Come on up, sir. This certificate of appreciation and a plaque is awarded to Deputy Jeffrey Kalin in grateful recognition of unyielding adherence to the highest ideals of law enforcement in maintaining, preserving, and protecting the lawful rights of citizens.
Good job, sir.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Sheriff, did you want to say anything? I see you're standing there.
Thank you, gentlemen, for those kind words. It's a pleasure to be here with you today and to be able to honor Jeff. He's certainly an asset to us and is a bright, shining young star that sets an example daily for all of the rest of our employees to follow. And it's a pleasure to be here today and to be able to honor him.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Y'all want to come up and get a picture?
Congratulations. You're taller than me, I think. Hey, I'm Larry. No, I got a haircut the other day. I did. Come on, gather in.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. And again. Hold on, I got one more.
Look it in. Hold that pose. Good. Congratulations. That's big old. I know. That's not usually the
Step down there, Matt.
way it is.
Well, he got you, Matt.
Oh, I know, you're taller than all of us.
You stepped down and said, oh, yeah.
All right, thank you. Next, we have UF IFAS for the Rural Community Health Activities in Putnam County. Is the presenter here for that? All right, yeah. Come on up. It looks like it.
We had to switch gears. Our rural community health agent is in the middle of a summer camp.
Oh, my apologies.
I just wanted to let y'all know we have 6 multi-day summer camps going on, and I brought Lainey Tilton to share a little bit about our camp last week. It was a success, a tremendous success. Did y'all get to see this?
Yes, I
Front
did.
page of the paper.
Yeah.
It was awesome, guys. It was really awesome. We are so appreciative to Florida Power and Light, who donated $1,000 so that we could get new beekeepers in Putnam County. Who doesn't need more bees?
That's right.
Who doesn't need more bees?
You do.
I wanted to give Lainey a chance to just share with you her experience and what she enjoyed most about the camp and maybe just her reflections. She's Lainey Tilton. She's 11 years old. She was one of the youngest ones in our camp. We didn't want to let 11-year-olds in, but once we realized we had some maturity at 11 years old, we said, let's open that up. Lainey?
It was a very fun experience. We got to go to Revels Farms and go collect pine straw to go light smokers. And we got to go pick potatoes.
That's right.
Because the bees pollinate the potato plants. And the second day, we got to go to Tilton Honey Farms, and we got to go get the 4-H hives and collect the boxes so that we could extract honey. And then the third day was actually pretty calm. We didn't have any field trips, but we did get to paint boxes and learn more about bees. It was a great experience for the kids that haven't really been around bees much, that weren't really interested. They got to learn more about bees and do stuff with them.
Yeah, I agree. We had one, we auctioned off, didn't really auction, we had a lottery at the end, because with the $1,000 we were able to buy bee supplies, but we also bought 2 full hives, like with nukes and queens and everything. And the 2 kids that won had never had any exposure to bees until the camp, right? And was Annie, was it her name, Annie? Annie and Hayden, yeah. And Annie was just like jumping up and down, like she was so excited when she won. So it was really great to see the passion of these kids. And, you know, as the extension agent here, all I hear from my farmers is, you've got to invest in the next generation. If you are not investing in the next generation, we are not going to have farmers, right, JR? That's all I hear from all my farmers. So I call Larry Korn, I'm like, we got to go dig potatoes. He says, well, I got one field left. So all the kids were out there digging potatoes by hand and going home to eat potatoes. I assume y'all did. And I said, how are potatoes related to bees? And of course they came up with a good answer. So anyway, we're excited about the camps. We're excited that IFAS has the opportunity to do that. We love Tricia Murphy. She came every single day and put this on the paper for us. And just to let you know, Ann Atkins, our beekeeping club, she was really the heart of the camp because she's the one with all the knowledge. She called the Florida State Bee Association, sent them this article, and they said next year's camp, we will support 5 hives,
All right.
not just 2. And then Ann said, well, we think the local bee club will match that. So all 10 kids will get their own hives next year. So anyway, we just wanted to share that good news, and thank you guys for your support, and thought that might put a smile on your face.
Wendy, such a great program. You guys are doing such an awesome job over there and with the 4-H camps. I know one time one of my granddaughters went, she learned how to sew. They had a sewing camp, and so many life skills that can be taught you guys are teaching to our next generation. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Leota.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
if I may add a little
Button.
bit, I happened to be at the Ag Center on, I think, the Wednesday or whatever, that they were doing the bee.
Friday, I think you
program.
came, we were painting
And
boxes.
they took me to bee school.
Okay.
I learned that Wendy is the queen bee. And I watched them, how they taught me how they extracted the honey from the combs and that, and they were decorating their new hives. It was very interesting and very educational. I commend them, and I think the kids were having a great time too. They were really having fun painting and doing the boxes. But it's an interesting process. I commend those that can do it because I'm allergic. Not allergic to the honey, but I'm allergic to the bee. But it was a very interesting process, and I applaud you, and I want you to see that go on successful, and congratulations on your money for next year.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lainey, for coming up and speaking. You did a great job. Next, we have Mark Linton from the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce giving us our Economic Development Report for Q2 of 2025. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilkinson. Good morning, everybody. Clerk Reynolds and Commissioners, staff. It's a pleasure to be here to give you a report for April through June of 2025, or Q2. We're currently working with 18 clients or projects that are interested in either bringing a new facility here or an existing local company who's looking to expand their operations. Of the 18, 8 came through the confidential lead system via Florida Commerce, Jax USA, FPL, all of our partners, NFEDP. 8 are organic, and 2 are local existing companies. When you add up all those projects, if they come to fruition, that would, each and every one of them, which probably won't happen, but there's over 4,000 jobs and over $2.3 billion of new capital investment that would come to Putnam County. There was also, I reviewed 6 other requests for information that came from Florida Commerce and the other partners, but we were ineligible and couldn't accommodate those projects, either no available existing buildings in the square footage size they want or lack of infrastructure. We continue to do our local retention expansion visits and meetings with local businesses to at least gauge their pulse and see what they're thinking. Are there any barriers that we can break down to help them grow, hire new people, invest new money, things we'd like to see. We did have an announced project this quarter, and on April 29th, Georgia Pacific, the paper mill out here in Palatka, will invest $83 million to construct a new 400,000 square foot automated warehouse / distribution center on site, and that will result in 20 to 25 new jobs that are not here today. Some other activities, you've heard me say this before at some of the PC EDC luncheons. The Florida scorecard named Putnam County as the #1 county for job growth in 2024. We had a 4.1% growth rate last year which was no other county in the state was over 4%. To give you some comparison, St. Johns County was at 1.2%, Clay was 1.1%, Bradford was 0.2%, and Alachua was 1.1%, and we were at 4.1%. So a lot of new jobs, and I think a lot of that has to do with the momentum we created through the Elevate Putnam County program. People were on the map. People were looking to invest money into Putnam County. We hosted our second quarterly PCEDC luncheon, June 12th, I believe. We had 70 folks attend. We also hosted 2 Elevate Putnam Investor Advisory Council meetings in April and June. We continue to meet with the City of Palatka in support of wastewater and water infrastructure solutions. We had a meeting, I forget, it was earlier this month, to talk about those issues. And then we've continued to host the Putnam Chamber Workforce Development Task Force Committee, which brings together all local educational training providers, the college, the school district, Career Source, Jax USA, and then all of our major employers in the county. They're all in one room talking about ways to find talent, attract talent, and fill jobs that they have available. So that is my report for the quarter. I just want to say it's my last report that I'll be giving you. It's been a pleasure to get to know each and every one of you and become friends, as well as professional colleagues. And the good part is I won't be moving at any time soon, so you'll still see me around. And if there's anything I can ever do for any of you, please, the cell phone will stay the same. Just give me a call. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the presenter? Mark, thank you for your leadership in the economic development world for Putnam County. It certainly has improved since you've been here, and we greatly appreciate all your efforts that you put in. And you will be missed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Lori Parker from Human Resources for Employee of the Month.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We received nominations, and the Employee of the Month is awarded to Lee Duran. All of you know Lee. She's been here for quite some time. Oh, here comes her family. Here you go.
Yay, Lee.
Commissioners, thank you again for this opportunity for us to highlight some of our wonderful staff. Most of you know Miss Lee, so this one is not unbeknownst to you. But what you all can agree with me on is Miss Lee is the one in the office that does anything and everything. She's the problem solver, the one with the smile on her face, the one we can fix it, we'll figure it out. She's always willing to go above and beyond for all of our divisions and all of our people, and for you guys and staff, citizens, it doesn't matter. Miss Lee's one of those all-around people that we just all know we can go to, and she's always willing to help, and we appreciate that greatly. So thank you. With her today is Miss Ruby and her husband Doug. The boys were not here today, but we hope they are watching and seeing pictures for sure. Do you want to say anything?
I just want to say thank you, and thank you for those kind words. And being in procurement, I get to work with all of our departments, and we really make a great team, and we have really something special here at the county, and I really appreciate this, so thank you.
Well, you're part of that.
Congratulations. No, you're short enough. We're good.
Get someone on this side, so it's.
Matt, get down.
Well, JR's standing up here, so we'll book in.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll book in.
Are we good?
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. And again. One more. All right, thank you.
Lee, congratulations.
Well deserved.
Thank you. We love you.
We really do.
I love you all.
She really is that person. Oh, she does a great job. You can go to her any.
I ain't never thrown nothing at her. She ain't, I got that.
Yeah. She does.
All right, moving into our planning and development public hearing meeting. rezone of Putnam Habitat for Humanity, ordinance number 2025-016.
Computer's not responding. Just one moment, please.
It's okay.
All right. For the record, Michael Graves, Planning and Development Services. This is, as you mentioned, rezone 25-000005 for the Putnam Habitat for Humanity. The Putnam County Habitat for Humanity is requesting a zoning map amendment from commercial neighborhood C1 to residential 1A to commercial retail C2 on a 1.21 acre property located at 210 South Palm Avenue in Palatka to allow for the development of a secondhand store and office. Surrounding zonings include residential and retail commercial. The subject site has a future land use designation of urban service and has approximately 200 feet of access on South Palm Avenue. According to the National Wetlands Layer and the FEMA Flood Zone Layer, the GIS reference map, the lands do not appear to contain any wetlands and is located in FEMA Flood Zone X, which is not a special flood hazard area. Should the applicant's request be approved, the applicant will then be subject to review by the Development Review Committee before obtaining any permits for development on this property compatible with the C2 zoning district. Here you can see the aerial of the property. If you notice the grayish, if you notice the grayish area, that is actually the city of Palatka, as this is right against the boundary. Here's the future land use. Again, the light gray is the city of Palatka. The zoning, you can see the split running down the side of it. Staff makes the recommendation for approval of the request to the zoning map from commercial neighborhood and residential 1A to commercial retail. Staff finds that the proposed rezoning is consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the adopted comprehensive plan and meets the locational requirements of the Commercial 2 zoning district provided in the Land Development Code and Comprehensive Plan. At their Planning Commission meeting, the Planning Commission recommended unanimous approval of the same. Any questions?
Are there any questions from the board? All right, and at this time, is the applicant here and would like to speak? Hey, Ramika.
I don't really have a whole lot to say. We're just excited about this new property and being able to develop and expand our current operations.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to speak in favor or against this rezoning? All right, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to rezone REZ 25-00005 Putnam Habitat for Humanity, ordinance 2025-016.
I'll second Mr. Harvey's motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. All right, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. There it is. All right, going into the consent agenda items, public comment on agenda items. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. It is not reasonable to expect that the board will engage in debate or deliberation about matters on which the board has received no prior information as part of the agenda. Please limit your time to 3 minutes. Public comment cards are conveniently placed at the meeting room entrance and should be submitted prior to the meeting to the deputy clerk who sits to the right of the podium. This is regarding consent agenda items and new business. Are there any cards? All right. Is there anybody who wants to speak regarding consent agenda items and new business? All right, hearing none, seeing none, come back to the board.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move the consent agenda for approval, items A, B, C, D, and E.
I apologize. Is there any commissioner who'd like to pull?
Sorry.
Commissioner Palacio?
I have nothing.
Nothing to pull.
I have none.
All right, thank you. All right, we have a motion on the floor.
I se-
Second.
All right, and we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, new business. Acceptance of multiple right-of-way deeds, Resolution 2025-041.
Good morning to all. We're just putting this application in front of you because we have several lot splits coming in front of us on roads that we already maintain that we don't have consistent right-of-way. And we've asked those new, on the lot splits to give us the current, to update the right-of-way so that we have consistent right-of-way along these roads. And these owners have agreed to do so. So we're just asking the board to accept the right-of-ways.
All right, Commissioner Harvey, you have a question?
I don't have a comment. Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Stout, thank you. This is vitally important, and I don't recall us doing this in the past, but this needs to be done when we see this happening, so I greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
It means a lot to our county, and it's going to propel us in the future when we see this come
Yes,
to
sir.
pass. So
Marie
thank you.
Chase has done a great job on making sure that when these come across her desk to start making these requests.
I
So,
agree.
Great,
Very good.
great.
Are there any comments or questions?
Just want to say welcome back, Mr. Stout.
Thanks. Rough road from Puerto Rico.
All right, with that, it's back to the board.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move approval on the acceptance of the multiple right-of-ways, Resolution 2025-041.
Right.
Second.
There's a motion and a second by Commissioner Palacier. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously. Public comment on miscellaneous items. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. It is not reasonable to expect that the board will engage in debate or deliberation about matters on which the board has received no prior information as part of the agenda. Please limit your time to 3 minutes. Public comment cards are conveniently placed at the meeting room entrance and should be submitted prior to the meeting to the deputy clerk who sits to the right of the podium. All right. All right, let's welcome Tom Townsend. Good morning, Mr. Townsend. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tom Townsend, and I serve as Vice Chair of the Putnam Democratic Party. I want to thank you for your continued leadership and dedication to the people of this community. Today, I'm speaking not just as a Democrat, but as a proud member of this community, standing in solidarity with the Republicans, Independents, and Democrats alike, because we all want the same thing: a stronger, a more prosperous, healthier Putnam County. That's why I want to echo and support the message recently sent to Representative Randy Fine by the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce, which clearly outlined how critical the enhanced premium tax credits have been for our community. Since 2021, over 8,000 Putnam County residents have relied on these credits to afford health insurance, many of them small business owners, gig workers, and working families. The Chamber noted that 92% of our businesses have 20 or fewer employees, and many of them depend on affordable health coverage to keep their workers and their businesses afloat. If these tax credits expire at the end of 2025, as is currently scheduled, Putnam County stands to lose an estimated $20 million in local GDP and approximately 175 local jobs. These are not just numbers. These are nurses, medical assistants, pharmacy techs, caregivers, home care workers, and the clerks and service workers who keep our local economy running. The Chamber also points out that the average monthly premium would jump from $63 back up to $726, an increase that many simply cannot afford, and that's monthly. We in the local Democratic Party are not just concerned, we're committed to helping. And we extend our hand to the County Commissioner and the Chamber of Commerce to stand united and proactive. Here are a few ways we can move forward together. Adopt a bipartisan resolution urging our federal representatives to extend the enhanced premium tax credits. Convene a countywide economic summit, bringing together business owners, community leaders, and residents to share stories and advocate in unity. Create a joint advocacy task force with the Chamber, the Commission, and representatives from across the political spectrum to organize and speak with one voice. Launch a community awareness campaign that emphasizes how this issue transcends politics and touches everyone in Putnam County. Putnam County deserves leadership that works together across the aisle, and I believe this commission, the Chamber of Commerce, and our broader community are ready to do just that. I want to thank you for your time and for your commitment to the people of Putnam County. Please let me know if we can be of assistance.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Townsend. Are there any questions for Mr. Townsend from the board? All right. I think
Thank you.
you brought up a very good an issue. I think we can probably work on something like that. Does the chamber want to speak on this? Okay. All right. Is there anybody else who wants to speak on public comment? This is now your time for 3 minutes. If anybody else want to speak. All right, moving on.
Got one back.
Oh, come on up. Yes, ma'am. You can come on up, Melissa. How are you today?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Melissa Ray. I'm the executive director of the Nehemiah Project. We are a nonprofit that has proudly served Putnam County since 2013. For over a decade, we've been working alongside individuals and families impacted by addiction, trauma, homelessness, and mental health struggles, helping them rebuild their lives and reconnect with purpose and community. I am here today to respectfully request $1,000 in support from the County Commission to help us maintain our membership in the Recovery Cafe Network. That's a national model of healing-centered, peer-supported recovery. This membership is not just symbolic, it directly qualifies us to receive a $40,000 grant to sustain and grow our local Recovery Cafe, of which we are the second Recovery Cafe in the state of Florida. Our cafe provides a safe, welcoming space where people in recovery are treated with dignity and compassion. It is a place of belonging where lives are transformed through community support and accountability. We have already seen powerful outcomes, but to continue, we must maintain our standing with the Recovery Cafe Network. The total cost of our annual membership is $2,500. In addition to asking the county for $1,000, I will also be requesting $1,000 from the city, and I am personally committing $500 out of my own pocket because I believe that deeply in the mission and impact of this work. With your support, we can unlock the $40,000 in grant funding, a 40-to-1 return in our investment, and continue providing life-changing services to the people who need it most. Thank you for your time, for your service to our community, and for considering this request. I'd be happy to provide more details or answer any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions for the presenter? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments? All right, moving into appointments. Commissioner Palatka, do you have any appointments?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes, ma'am, I have two.
Okay.
I have two nominees, excuse me, two nominations for the ZBOA, and those are at-large positions, so I assume we all have to vote on those.
That's correct.
The first candidate I would like to recommend would be Michael Rayburn.
All right, are there any other commissioners that are going to have at-large appointments today for the Zoning Board of Adjustment?
No.
Okay, what's your second one?
That would be Cole Wilkinson.
C-O-L-E?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we have two, we'll just do them both at the same time. We have two recommendations for at-large appointments to the Zoning Board of Adjustment.
I'll second that.
And we have a second. Is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Mr. Newbold, do you have any appointments?
I do not.
All right, Commissioner Harvey.
I do not, ma'am. Thank you.
And I have one for the Fair Authority. I will reappoint Scott Tilton to represent District 2. All right, moving forward into comments. Clerk of Court, Matt Reynolds.
Good morning, Madam Chair and fellow commissioners. Just want to take a quick moment now that the budget has been passed by the legislature and sent up to the governor to be signed, to take a moment to thank Senator Leak and Representative Sapp. They were successful in a very, very difficult legislative year to secure the county several appropriations if they survived the veto pen, one of them being the enterprise resource planning system, the ERP system upgrade. So holding my breath until July 1 that hopefully the governor will not decide to veto that. That would be a huge improvement for the county. But again, just wanted to take a moment to thank both of those gentlemen for their extremely hard work on behalf of Putnam County this year. So,
Yes, sir.
thank you, Commissioners.
Right.
That was all I had.
All right, very good. Mr. Attorney Commando.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just enjoy your time at the Florida Association of Counties Conference. Remember to support our very own who's running for, is it second vice president?
Vice President.
I'm hearing good things about your campaign, and hopefully I know you'll represent us well. Last thing is I hope everybody, because we won't see each other, will have a good 4th of July.
Thank you. Mr. County Administrator Suggs.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, just echo what Mr. Commando said in support of Commissioner Harvey and his endeavor for second vice president of the Florida Association of Counties. We will be at the conference this week down there, and also in support of Commissioner Harvey. But on a separate note, I believe I emailed out yesterday or forwarded a letter from Mr. George Young, who was the president of Babe Ruth here in Putnam County. The event that happened this past weekend, Thursday through Sunday, out at your Theobald Park was just absolutely a huge success. You saw the letters that were attached. The folks that were participating in that event from around our state. I think we had 8 different counties represented, 30-plus teams. You got to give credit where credit is due. Mr. Young and his commissioners of that league done a phenomenal job. We were well represented. Everything that could have went right for us did. The fields looked phenomenal. A lot of good things happened out there. Mother Nature did her best not to cooperate, but then again, you got folks like Crystal Duke and Parks and Rec who did a phenomenal job of getting those fields ready each day to play. Miss Young, Mr. Grimes, they all deserve a huge amount of credit for getting those fields in the shape that they are in, and we should be proud. Parks and Rec did a phenomenal job, and that's one of the things that we've talked about here for a long time. You know, Parks and Rec is one of those departments probably touches more folks than anything else that we do here in Putnam County, and to give those kids an opportunity to participate on turf and on new fields and new dugouts and have their representation. I understand each of you made an attempt. If you weren't out there, it didn't go unrecognized. Those folks are really pleased with the fact that we had as much support as we did. So kudos to Ms. Young and her team. Kudos to Mr. Young and his team, and kudos to you guys for making it happen. So thank y'all so much for that.
All right, thank you. Commissioner comments, starting to my left. Commissioner Alexander.
I just would like to wish our elder statesmen the best of luck this week and weekend. We're all rooting for you, Larry. We know that politics is your passion, and this is what you live for. And if this is the next part of your journey, we're here to support you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's it. All right. Commissioner Newbold.
A couple of little quickies. I'll follow up Mr. Suggs' appreciation for the program that was pulled off the Babe Ruth tournament. That was an amazing program. There's been just huge strides there made by Public Works, the whole county staff, Babe Ruth team. That may be the first Babe Ruth tournament, but it's not going to be the last. And I would love to see one of those letters published somewhere, pushed out to the public. Getting more people from the community aware of those would be, a big deal. Thank you guys for all you've done out there. That's steps us up a notch. Mr. Townsend, thank you for coming and speaking on the enhanced premium tax credit. That's a piece that is a little bit under the radar in the greater public. It's hard to understand, but it's a big issue. There are nonprofits within the community that are getting letters out to representatives that are trying to help in that charge. That may not be a big deal to some of the more populous counties, but, that could really hurt us here in Putnam County, and we'd lose a lot in healthcare in our area. So getting some more awareness in the public's a good thing. Thank you for coming here today. Mr. Alexander, I appreciate your efforts and kind of behind the scenes pushing on the possible appropriation for the clerk. So thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
All right. Commissioner Pelletier, pretty in pink today.
Thank you. Two things. One, just to add on to congratulations to our United States Army celebrating their 250th anniversary last week. I watched that for several hours and really made me proud to be an American, and knowing the force that we have, hopefully never needed, but knowing it's good to know it's there, as some neighbors across in the Middle East got to find out all about that this last few days. Anyhow, glad to know we have that kind of backup. I have I don't know if this is the proper time to bring this up. If not, we'll move it to something else. I have I think it's a grade 3 road that I have some residents that need to get that into county maintenance. It'll about 10 families, only 3/10 of a mile. They just want to get it graded. That's all they want. Anyhow, I'd like to. It's over in the San Mateo area, Ivy Road. Is this the proper time to bring that
I
forward?
mean, we start the discussion. You got to start it at some point.
It's this road is kind of straight across from the ice cream factory, the little place there on the right where the train car is, on the corner by the San Mateo, I think it's Baptist Church maybe, or maybe not Baptist, maybe it's Dunn's Creek Baptist, I'm not sure the name of it, but it's on the corner of 17 and the Baptist Church there. And like I said, 3/10 of a mile, about 10 residences down there, and they just want to get in the grading system.
So it's currently a class 3?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's completely privately owned?
Need to double check that.
Okay, I think that's what comes into question is the
Doesn't
ownership.
seem to be a problem with all the calls I've gotten that they want to sign over, so, but I can follow up with that.
So if I'm following you correctly, what you're proposing is that we start looking at class 3 roads and bringing them into
Particularly
public,
this.
if you can get them ownership.
Sure. I mean, just a grading issue. It's not, I don't think it's a huge expense.
Well, I think that have you gotten the book that shows all the different roads with the different grades? Yeah.
I don't believe I have that.
Okay, Mr. Stout, if you'll make sure he gets that. So there is a county book that shows all the roads with the different grades of roads. I think the hard part is we just can't do one road. Like, so if we open that door, we would have to consider all those roads. And I think it's a bigger discussion that we could have, but, and then we'd have to figure out, what that cost would be.
Well, my concern, is strictly the grading part, but then what if they need fire, EMS, law enforcement response, and they can't get there, that type thing?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think it's just a challenge that we have as commissioners because that's not the only road that's like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Commissioner Harvey, you have comments?
I do.
Our buttons aren't
Madam,
working, so
thank
if
you.
anybody else has comments, please let me know.
Commissioner Pelletier, in the past, and I think the worst mistake I made as a commissioner was trying to take a class 3 road into a public system. Everybody wanted it until they found out they couldn't drive their four-wheeler on it or something, and some people want to live on a private road. So historically in the past, this commission has said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Public Works, that they have to bring the road up to a standard
That is correct.
we have. And some commissioners in the past have even said forming an MSBU because the county has a lot of roads that we take care of, and adding that into a system kind of overwhelms the system. Maybe 3/10 wouldn't, but it would open the door for a lot. So we need to look at that, and that's I think that's good for a future discussion, no doubt about it.
Ms. Julianne, you're recognized, or JR, or whoever would like to speak on the subject matter.
My comments aren't on this particular topic, so I'm gonna let you, Mr. Grimes, help you finish this one. I just had a general comment.
Okay. I'm sorry, yep, we'll get back.
I went back to my staff after we had a conversation regarding Ivy Road and just looking at some other roads and found, and I failed to bring it with me today, so I will forward it to all of you, a current policy that is in the BOCC for what Mr. Harvey just referenced, bringing it up to standard. The short of it is, if they bring it up to county standard, it would need to be 66 feet of right-of-way, the right-of-way cleared, the drainage installed, the whole 9 yards before the county would bring it in, and that would be at the landowner's expense that live on that road. Which means they would need to dig the swales, remove the trees. If there's a garage that crosses the right-of-way line, building has to be moved, all of that stuff for the 66 feet of right-of-way. Something to consider. It is your policy. I mean, if that policy changes, then it changes, but just so that you're aware of what's currently in your policy.
Can you make sure that we all get
Yes,
copies
I will
of
make
that?
sure, I
and then-
failed to bring it today, but I will make sure that everybody has that in their hands.
And Commissioner Palacier, I guess my comments would be, if you find a path, then, I mean, we'll talk about it. There's nothing wrong with having a workshop or having a discussion about it. When I first got elected, I thought the same thing. There was a lot of Class 3 roads that people were calling about, and they didn't have really good access, but I never really could find the right path to go forward on resolving the issue. So I don't know how we do it, but I'm willing to listen.
Something to consider if we go down that road is then the extra cost. Personnel, trucks, dump
Right.
trucks, graders, because I don't know where that would stop on how many roads that we bring in.
Right, I think that's why I mentioned the book, because I think what we need to look is really see how many Class 3 roads we have and how many miles that is, because I think that could be a determining factor moving forward in this policy. Yes, sir.
I would have a different look at it if there was 2 houses on that road and it was half a mile long or something like that. But 3/10 of a mile and 10 residences is a little more congestion, serve the greater good. That was my concern.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, I've got the same thing with Barden Estate Circle. I mean, there's probably 25 houses on that road, and it's the Class 3, and it's very, I mean, we've called an ambulance before, and it's gotten stuck on that road. So I know where you're coming from. Oh, somebody's button's working.
Yeah.
All right, the button started working. Commissioner Alexander.
I have a question, being new to this, JT. So if we were to, the burden goes back to the constituents of that road. Now, is that something they would hire out privately, or is that something the county would do and then they would reimburse us for that and give them a cost, or how does that work?
I would have them hire that out privately. I would do what I was requested to do, but.
Yeah, I mean, depending on, I did ask Mr. Stout, I'm not sure if he's run a report yet of how many Class 3 roads we have and the amount of miles. I mean, it's going to be within hundreds of miles of Class 3 county roadways that are out there, right?
Sure.
For instance, my driveway would be considered a Class 3 driveway, right? Because it's non-county maintained. So it would be at the owner's expense. We would never be able to afford the amount of people,
I
the equipment.
understand it's
So I mean,
the owner's
the
expense.
burden should be on the owners to go out and get all the right-of-way dedicated. They should get the swales cleaned. They should get the roadway base put at the acceptable standard, whether it be a clay base or lime rock base or dirt or whatever we end up putting in there. That should be at the expense of the homeowner.
No, I understand 100%, it's at the owner's expense, but I didn't know if we did that and they reimbursed us, we charged them a fee through MSBU, or if they had to pay.
I got you. Yeah, I don't think we have the equipment or the amount of personnel needed to bring these in I mean, because when we open this gate, it's going to become open, right? And we're going to have to set who gets in, who doesn't get in, and that's going to be a decision that gets brought up here on a frequent basis of who gets brought, who doesn't get brought. So it's kind of a slippery slope. Yeah, do we want to help? Absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is if our fire rescue EMS tears up the road, we are able to go back in there and fix it because we caused the damage. But we tend to go down for fire rescue at any given moment down a lot of those Class 3 roads in this county. We buy 4-wheel drive ambulances just for that reason. We didn't buy in the past. In 2022, I think we started buying our first 4-wheel drive ambulances because these roads became populated, right, without the improvement.
Yeah.
Multiple times. I mean, we sat here in the board for a very similar situation in that St. John's Riverside Estates. The guy was, I think, maybe a couple hundred yards off the county maintained portion of the road, was a county road. But in order for him to build, he had to bear the expense of moving the road to his line.
Yeah, that wasn't my question. I understand that the constituents are responsible for bringing the road up to code. I just didn't know if that was something that we would finance, or if they had to sub it out privately to an individual. That was my question.
Yeah, my recommendation would sub it out to the private sector.
Okay.
Commissioner Palacier.
I don't disagree with the part about the right-of-way and if it has trees in it and that type thing. And I'm a little bit familiar, not super familiar with this road, but I don't think that is gonna be an issue whatsoever. It's already, it has some ditching to it. There are no trees that are within that round, bounds that you give. It's a simple grading, I think, on this particular one. I understand that, they don't all fall under that criteria, I really do. But this one, I think, is an easy fix on that situation, and that whoever put the road in there for these residents did a pretty good job. It just has no maintenance to it now, and, you know, it just needs grading. But, I do understand about trees and right-of-ways and
I just wanted to make
culverts and
sure
that
we
type
were
thing.
all on the same page.
Yeah,
But
I
I'll
know.
make sure everybody gets the
I'd appreciate that.
Commissioner Newbold?
Is a Class 3 road a candidate for a MSBU?
Yes.
Okay, that,
But they gotta come into the county maintenance.
They have to come into the county maintenance, more than, Tony, is it 50%
50
of the
plus
residents? Huh? 60% of the residents have to
Plus
agree, plus one, on the extra cost, which would be a tax on their ad valorem, for the maintenance of that road. My caution on MSBU's, just for full transparency, if we're talking about either a grading or a paving MSBU is, can be costly to the county and take away our operating dollars. Because if the county fronts the money for several miles of roads, that's gonna add up very quickly, and that's gonna cut into either operational dollars or reserves, whatever is out there.
But you can bond that money.
Okay. Commissioner Newbold, are you done?
yes, I am, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Alexander?
Just so the community knows, Mr. Stout, can you please let everyone in here know what it costs to pave 1 mile of road?
Currently, 1 mile of road is averaging, on our last contract, I believe it was $566,000 for 1 mile for dirt to pave.
And so we have approximately $16 million in reserves? So we could pave 32 miles?
If you wanted to
So
zero out
that's,
your reserve.
I just want people to understand how expensive
How
it is.
expensive and how much.
And that we
can do.
we are looking at every option, but I just
Correct.
want to put it in perspective.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I have over 300 miles of dirt roads in my.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Thank you. I'll take it all. Thank you.
All right. Are we,
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Any other comments?
Oh,
All right.
I'm good.
Ms. Young, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to back up. There's been a lot of conversation, positive, obviously, about the softball tournament that was hosted at the John Theobald Sports Complex. And I just want to take a minute to make sure that we publicly thank some local businesses and individuals. We were up against some tight timelines, and Loman Fence came to the table after you guys authorized fence replacement, and they accomplished that mission. Public Works with their inmate crews came out and assisted in that collaborative effort to make sure the fences were down so that Loman could come back in and replace them. St. John's Turf Care has been working on that turf now for over a year. And Riverside Builders, within 3 weeks, built all brand-new dugouts. And so reaching out to our local vendors and using our local communities, they really truly came through, not to mention a multitude of internal people. Commissioner Newbold was hanging banners Wednesday evening, getting everything ready. So Chief Back and Mr. Grimes and I were out there until 9 Tuesday night, making sure that batting cages were hung. And so just truly a very community focused, collaborative effort that was able to accomplish everything that did come to fruition out there that weekend.
Very good. Thank you. All right, Commissioner Harvey, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to give accolades to the Babe Ruth and George Young and that whole group. I was so moved out there at the weld oil machine that was running and all the people that were working in the heat, and the kids were just amazing to watch them play, and you know, all the different areas where they came from, and they came to Putnam County for this. And I was so moved, I even made a commitment to Francis Field. I mean, I was like a sales job. What did I just buy, you know? But I bought. So, but it's a good thing for our kids. And I tell you, you know, you hear about our kids have nothing to do in this county. That's not true. We got plenty of parks, plenty of recreation for them. And it's not like when I grew up in Francis, across from Francis Baptist Church, there was an empty lot, and you brought 4 pie plates and a couple rocks, and you know, it was summertime and hot, but Mama said go down there and play and get out of the house for a while. and that's what you did. But it's really wonderful to see this working out. And then I want to say thank you for everyone who helped me get ready for this endeavor that I'm taking on for second vice president of over Florida Association of Counties. A lot of staff worked hard. The chamber did an excellent job in helping, and I'm not going to name names, but I just wanted to say thank you so much. We got more work to do when we get down there, and I hope you all read "'Twas the Night Before Convention" email. That was really good. So thanks, ChatGPT, for that. And Madam Chair, that's all my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. A couple things we held our second highway safety task force meeting was this past Thursday. Great discussion. FDOT did a presentation. If you haven't had a chance, I believe you can go back and watch the video. We learned some things. There's many projects that they're already working on in Putnam County, FDOT. They also have several outreach programs that they want to get out into the community to talk about, particularly drinking and driving. Some of the statistics they shared was out of the fatalities that we have in Putnam County, more than around 60% was caused by DUIs. So by people driving drunk, not necessarily DUIs, but drunk driving. So that was staggering for me, because I was just taken back by that. And so one of the things that like I said, they have a couple campaigns that we'll work on in cooperation with them, but the safety task force will come back with a list of priorities and things that, like short-term and long-term priorities, that they'll ask this commission to get behind and support them on. So that's coming forward. We have another meeting coming up to come up with our list, basically. Second, I wanted to say we passed the letter a couple weeks ago regarding preservation of the Rodman Reservoir, and I have in front of you today a resolution 2025-042, and I'm asking, basically this mirrors the letter that we wrote, except in the form of a resolution, and I'm just asking for your authorization to be able to sign this letter and send it up to the governor's office.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Resolution 2025-042. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you for that. And with that, I think, I did want to say, Mr. Townsend, I appreciate you bringing that to our attention. And if you have any information to send us, please do so, and we can have further discussion about what you brought forward today. So that's my comments. Is there anything else to come before the good of the board? All right, this meeting's convened.
Adjourned.
Adjourned.